Okay, so yet another big release from Anthropic, and this time it's Sonnet 4.6. So this is a smaller model compared to Opus 4.6, but it gives you Opus level performance at the price of Sonnet model. Now, Anthropic is really going after the knowledge worker class. They have really focused on enterprise customers and developers. And with this release, they have specifically improved the computer use capabilities of the new iteration of the models. So now it's going to be able to use your browser much more effectively. Also, it's a 1 million context window model, so I think it's going to be a lot more useful for programming. Historically speaking, Anthropic has been able to build state-of-the-art coding models, and this seems to follow that pattern. Now, they are phrasing it as a built-in replacement to Opus 4.6 in certain situations, and seems like they have really improved the UI capabilities of this model. Okay, so let's get the benchmarks out of the way. This is very close to Opus 4.6 on a number of key benchmarks. I think the difference right now is hard to figure out at this point. Now, there are certain use cases like agentic search, browser use cases where it lags behind, but overall, it's very, very close. Now, with this release, they're also improving their web search capabilities, and now they are adding dynamic filtering. I am a big user of Cloud and Chrome, and I think these are going to add a lot of value to people who are trying to automate their web development and testing. Now, one thing that they specifically highlighted with this release is the computer use capabilities of this model. So Sonnet 3.5 was the first one that introduced computer use back in October 2024, and it had less than 20% OS World verified benchmark. Now, with this one, we have come all the way up to 72.5%, which is pretty incredible. Now, the model is already available on Claude, so you can just select it and start playing with it. And this is something I really like about Anthropic. When they announce a model, they release it to public. They can play with it. There is no time to wait and then hope that the model provider is going to release it soon. It's going to be also available to free tier as well. Although Anthropic's free tier is not as generous as some of the other frontier labs. Okay, let's quickly go over the blog post. So in here, they say that it has upgraded skills across coding, computer use, and long context reasoning, along with agentic planning and knowledge work and design. It has 1 million context window. Again, it's very similar to Opus 4.6, but the pricing is a little tricky here. Now, for the base 200,000 tokens, the pricing remains the same. Anthropic has been able to consistently keep the pricing of Sonnet and Opus level models exactly the same, while we have seen that other companies are reducing prices, but people are willing to pay for the best models, and Anthropic is able to do it. But keep in mind, there is a very dramatically different pricing structure if you're using below 200,000 tokens versus above 200,000 tokens in your context window. If you go to more than 200,000 tokens, you're going to be paying $15, which is 5 times that of below 200,000 tokens. So not all the tokens are priced the same. Okay, so a couple of highlights. They say that early access users preferred Sonnet 4.6 compared to its predecessor, which was Sonnet 4.5, which is expected, right? But then they say that some people also preferred it to Claude Opus 4.5. Now, there were some rumors that the Anthropic team is going to release Sonnet 5, which is the normal trend for Anthropic. They normally release a bigger upgrade to Sonnet first and then Opus. But in this case, they did the reverse. They upgraded Opus and now they are upgraded Sonnet, but just by smaller version upgrade. But the thing that they specifically are trying to highlight in this blog post or this release is computer use. Now, the beauty about computer use is that you don't really need any special APIs for the models. They are going to use your existing setup the way humans would do. And this is a very hard task to accomplish. But we have definitely seen dramatic improvements across the industry. And in my experience, Sonnet or Opus class models have been probably at the forefront. It seems like this is going to be yet another push in the same direction. Now, here they say early Sonnet 4.6 users are seeing human level capabilities in tasks like navigating a complex spreadsheet or filling out a multi-step web form before pulling it all together across multiple browser tabs. Computer use is becoming very important for knowledge work. Recently, they introduced this product called Cowork, which is basically a wrapper around Cloud Code for normies or non-technical people. But the beauty of that system is that it can take actions on your computer, which is going to be becoming more and more critical as we move towards automation of knowledge work. And Sonnet 4.6 seems to have improved capabilities in that regard as well. However, there is one big problem with prompt injection if you are automating web navigation or enabling the agent to take actions on different websites, right? So they are directly addressing that this model has improved capabilities to detect prompt injection or similar attacks. Now, this model seems to have a much better capabilities in terms of using its long context window. So it's able to reason effectively across that 1 million context window. We'll have to see in practice how good this is. But the example that they are providing is that it can do long horizon planning. And they tested it on the vending bench arena, where it seems to be more effective at saving and making money compared to the previous iteration, which is kind of expected. We are seeing huge improvements from model iteration to the next, and that seems to be a trend overall. Now, on benchmarks, again, this seems to be very close to Opus 4.6, especially when it comes to coding. So it might be Anthropic version of a Flash model like Gemini, which was very close to Gemini Pro specifically for coding tasks. Now, for Anthropic, the goal is very clear. They are going after knowledge work and developers, which is very different than some of the other competitors. And I think that's why they have been able to be laser focused on this one specific domain and being able to build some really, really great models. Now, similar to Opus 4.6, it also has now support for both adaptive thinking and extended thinking. Adaptive thinking is the model capability to allocate thinking budget based on the complexity of the task. So you as a user do not have to worry about it. The model can automatically determine that, and it can also do context compaction behind the API automatically. All right, so let's run a couple of tests on Claude Code or Claude. I have selected Sonnet 4.6. This is a web development task with pretty detailed instructions. Let's see how good this is at web development. Now, it can do interleaved tool calls during the chain of thought, so it seems like it decided to use its front-end development skill directly here because we are asking it to create a web page. On another tab, I'm asking it to simulate a galaxy of 500 stars interacting through gravity. And let me click to add a massive black holes, right? So we're going to see how good this turns out to be. Now, while we're doing that, I also want to show you this computer use that I'm currently running. So right now, Cloud Code powered by Sonnet 4.6 is testing a UI that I'm building for a team of agent. So think of this as a mission control that I am building for a system very similar to OpenClaw. All right, so here are the results. This is the 500 stars simulation under gravity. It's very fast, so I'll probably have to add some more controls. But let's say if we click and introduce a black hole, seems like the simulation is accurate, right? But I really like that UI or front-end design has been pretty great. Now we'll need to find an astrophysicist to tell us whether the simulation is correct or not. That's a whole different story. Now, this is the website that it created. I think it can definitely use some work here. Probably not exactly what I was hoping for, but maybe we can prompt it a little bit more to get a much better UI design. Anyways, I am going to be testing this model within Claude Code. So if you are interested in that, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Anyways, I hope you found this video useful. Thanks for watching. And as always, see you in the next one.